Hey, this is Brindle Wolf.
And I'm Lunaria.
You're listening to Rise Awakenings, part of the Rise Radio Network where advice meets action.
We're here to spark your growth, lift your spirit, and help you crush your potential.
Rise Awakenings, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice, where dreams awaken in life. Rise Awakening, now is the time.
Rise Awakenings, let's rise together.
It starts with one. All I know, it's so unreal. What you I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself of the time. In spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property, remembering all the times you fought with me. I'm surprised it got so far. Things are the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me would eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. In the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain it through time. All I know, time is a vital thing. Watch it fly by as a pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock ticks like a wreck. It's so unreal. Can you look out below? Watch the time go right out the window. Try to hold on and didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me would eventually be a memory of a time you It's Brindle Wolf and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, mental wellness is the topic
to tap into our alignments, will lead to our refinements. Phoenix Talks, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brenda Wolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can.
Welcome, everyone, to Phoenix Talks. I am Brenda Wolf, and this is my lovely co-host,
Diane, Reverend Diane. Hello, everybody.
Hey. Yeah, that's for the topic this week. That song's just been on my mind to do.
That was freaking phenomenal. Holy shit, that was awesome.
And you know, the story behind when I did that song, it's kind of in line with the topic, because that was literally a month before I left You Know Where.
Yeah, wow.
So it was just like, okay, all right.
Wow.
That was the lead up to getting over all of the internal abuse that I felt, which is our topic this week, beyond the abuse. Yeah. And this was yours. Yes. So kick us off. Where are we going to go with it?
So I really feel as though we know broad concepts of what we have to do, but how do we get there? We've left them now. The dust is settled, and now we're just left with ourselves and the aftermath of chaos and destruction. Where do we even start? So I wanted to use this opportunity to help folks know where they have to start. And this could be any level of abuse, and it could be stuff from your past. It could be stuff you're going through right now. It doesn't matter. It's still relevant.
Oh, yeah.
I say to start with de-gaslighting yourself. Okay, because in the process of this abuse, you were made to feel a certain kind of way about yourself and made to believe fallacies about yourself because you were being controlled and manipulated and all that shit. So the first thing you need to do is start the process of de-gaslighting yourself. Whatever it is they put you down about, review it in your mind and remind yourself that the opposite is actually true, and that was a lie to hold you down. Yep. And yes, it hurts to acknowledge that, well, how did I not know that? And how could I let that happen to myself? The second thing, after de-gaslighting yourself, is don't shame yourself for learning what feels right to you and what doesn't feel right to you in those moments. If you weren't aware or open to learning those aspects of yourself previous, then you're just learning it now.
Yep.
Okay. Don't shame yourself and feel guilty for it. You're still gaslighting yourself. Stop. So like, I just wanted to go down these branches to try to walk them through, like, what can we do to get ourselves over these humps of like, and the resentment, you know what I mean? Right. So, you know, compassion, you have to show yourself the utmost compassion and hold yourself with tenderness and gentleness. You've just had a traumatic experience nonstop whilst you were with that person. Be gentle with yourself. You learned what you don't resonate with, and you've become aware of what you're willing to tolerate. That's huge.
Yep.
Let's give ourselves credit for that instead, and kudos for fucking surviving. Jeez.
You know, just this week, I've been working with a new coach, and one of the phrases that she uses, or one of the mentalities that she has when it comes to gaslighting yourself or shaming yourself, shooting yourself, is that too often we listen to the shitty committee in our head.
That's funny. I like the shitty committee. That's really funny. Excuse my cough. I'm sorry, guys.
Because so often, and I've got a shitty committee too that I have to tell shut up and meetings over, meetings adjourned, get out. You know, because we all have that tendency, and it doesn't matter if you're coming out of an abuse cycle or just trying to treat yourself nicer and move into that authenticity, get out of that dark night of the soul, you know, whatever the case is, because we all have those voices in our head. Now, to stay on topic with the abuse, these voices were created externally.
Yes.
but holding and maintaining that committee meeting of gaslighting, of shaming, of shoulding, of why aren't you doing this? You should be doing this better. You need to be doing this better. And it having their voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is where the healing starts, is
It
to
does.
remember that if you are out of this situation, congratulations. You have taken the absolute first step.
Right. And that takes a lot of grit, courage, and faith in yourself. Or a fuck ton of fear because I'm going to die if I don't. Or a little bit of both.
But either way, it took courage to take that action. So pat yourself on the back, congratulate yourself.
And that's the point. Can we
That's the
bring up
point.
Michael's comment here? Sorry, words are hard right now.
The one that starts with dude?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Dude, I'm still learning the difference between what a normal thought even is and what's a conditioned response. I feel like any acceptance of compliments or saying I'm good at anything still feels like I'm being narcissistic.
Okay, so let's go with that because this is part of de-gaslighting yourself. You were projected onto as being self-centered and selfish because the person that got you to that place was the one who was narcissistic and selfish. Okay, because this really is a conversation specific to the aftermath of the chaos of a narcissistic abusive situation.
Yeah.
Okay, and it doesn't matter how nice the person was or how they didn't mean to. I don't give a fuck. Toxic is toxic,
Yeah.
period.
And
I don't care where you are.
I saw a few minutes ago that George Fatias, who was rocking Cherry over in Rise, I saw him when we were talking about gaslighting. He was like, well, gas darkening. I like that. I like that. Let's darken that gaslight.
Yes. So, in order to understand first that you're not the narcissist, I need you to understand that the narcissist isn't going to be questioning themselves because they can do no wrong. Remember, they don't have responsibility or accountability. So you're not in alignment with that. That's your answer. You're not a narcissist. The fact that you even asked that question and trying to figure out the difference tells me you're not a narcissist. So get that shit out of your head and throw it in the trash and set it on fire. Okay? De-gaslight that thought pattern that was forced onto you by a narcissist. Okay? Secondly, you have to decide for yourself what feels right in your heart, what resonates and what feels true for you.
Yeah.
That's how you know what healthy is and what's not. Because if it feels in alignment with heart-centered space and there's safety, there's care, there's respect, there's consideration towards yourself, especially.
And I'm going to tell you right now,
Yeah.
from personal experience, you cannot gaslight yourself to have a good feeling.
Yeah.
It
So-
doesn't work.
It doesn't work. So the scapegoated child tends to be the child that everybody dumps on.
Yeah.
And so, of course, you have a poor self-image in that sense because you have to make the decision then, who am I? Am I going to continue to be who I was told I was by really toxic people? Or am I going to decide that for myself and choose for myself what I want to surround myself with in other people?
Yep.
Okay. And then there was the part of normal and conditioned response. The conditioned response is basically you're living as who everyone else told you are. So question everything and decide for yourself if that's who you are, because this is also the part of the healing process. You learn from narcissistic relationships what feels like shit and what you never want to experience again. And if you stop shaming yourself for a minute and give yourself a little compassion and a little righteous anger for being treated like shit, maybe you'll see how well you actually did. And that's where your focus needs to shift.
Yep. And the stories
Okay.
that you tell yourself. This is part of the
Right.
shitty committee and the gaslighting.
Right.
Is the stories that you tell yourself. And I see one in the comments. I don't know if I want to even bring that up, because that is a repetitive story that's going on that needs to be gas darkened, as Rock and Cherry calls it. Because
I
that's
missed
just
it. I'm going
Um,
back and I'm looking.
it's the long one right before Karen's.
Okay. Okay,
Interesting,
gotcha.
interesting comparison, Karen, where she used to like pizza pineapple instead of salami. Now she likes both. But
Yeah.
eating the pineapple pizza on purpose until she loved it or liked it.
So you're intentionally trying to find out if you like something or not. That's perfect. That's getting to know yourself. I don't care what you test, try everything, test everything. Do I really like this
Yes.
deodorant, or is it somebody told me about it? Like, you have to really truly get to know yourself. So Karen, that's a good example of getting to know yourself. And Michael, whatever you learned from other people treating you, throw that shit in the trash. Just blanket, throw it in the trash. Whatever feels right and made you feel safe and loved and held and
Yep.
supported, that stuff is what you keep. That's how you figure it all out. But that takes time and practices, even as something as simple as, do I even like pizza pineapple? This is reminding me of, you know, that like that Runaway Bride movie with Julia Roberts and Richard Gere.
I have seen it, but I don't remember the entire movie.
The point is, there was a scene in there where she always developed the same personality as the fiance, so that she would people please and make sure they're taken care of and their needs are taken care of. Well, that's what we do in narcissistic relationships, and we don't even know who the fuck we are anymore because they tell us who we are, so that we can maintain their calm. We
Yeah,
can regulate their emotions for them.
Mish said that she never knew how she liked her eggs. I don't know how I like my eggs. I've always cooked them the way that somebody else liked them and just dealt with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time to discover.
So, like, okay, Mike, I'm gonna throw you under the bus for a minute. Like, every time every time we leave a toxic situation, it's almost like we got to get to know ourselves again.
Yes.
And you had a situation recently. I did too, and I think I've talked about it, but I'll bring myself up too, and I'll throw myself under the bus for that as well. But you had to walk through the shit that you needed to get rid of. The shit that was got you convinced in your own brain of something that isn't true about you.
Right.
And how it made you feel.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
And it's a constant journey, by the way.
Yes. Yes. It's a constant journey of what feels right to me.
Because the ego leader of that shitty committee in my head.
Yeah.
They don't forget.
Yeah.
You can't erase it. That's the problem. And that's what a lot of people try reaching towards, thinking that that's what's going to solve the problem. And that whatever the abuse was, that they're going to forget it. Sorry, guys. I'm going to be honest. No fluff, no muff here. I'm going to tell you like it is. You're not going to forget. What you can do is catch yourself in those triggered moments and reframe it.
Bingo. What he said.
And once you can reframe it, then it's forgotten. And it gets smaller and smaller each time it appears until the point that you're like, nope, boom.
Yeah. And that's part of the process when you're de-gaslighting yourself, is you have to put in what's actually true. And that means reframing it into the real fucking reality that you live in now, now that the chaos is gone and the crazy making is gone, because that manipulation fucks you up big time, right? There's no one that comes out of a narcissistic dynamic unscathed, myself included. Okay. I just got out of one recently myself that, I saw the signs. Oof. Okay. We got a problem. Houston, we got a problem.
Yep. Time to go.
That doesn't mean that, it happens.
Yeah. And Mish brought up that she had gotten out of a toxic marriage, but then found herself in several DV relationships afterwards.
Mhm.
Guess what? I'm going to call you normal.
Yeah. We're going to
And
repeat the
there's-
cycles until we decide to learn something different. So all of you tonight are going to learn something different so that you could do different going forward. And
Yep.
every one of our episodes are teaching you how to do things differently.
Right.
So that you don't repeat the same cycles over and over again. Because if you're not aware of what is the repeat pattern that's keeping you in those cycles, you're not going to be able to move yourself through it.
But I am going to throw in real quick that while you can watch all of the 82 episodes that we have, or however many we have now, you can watch all of those, and you can take notes. You can do the homework as they're talked about. But there's going to be an element that's missing, and that's going to be ears.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need ears, either one of us is here to help you actually walk through what you just heard
Right.
and saw.
Right.
So I'm just going to throw that in.
Yes.
Because each one of these is almost like a master class kind of, hey.
Right. Right. Literally, like we got gold that we've given. I mean, we're kind of rough and we curse and I talk like a Jersey girl. I don't know, whatever. It don't matter.
Aside from puffing on my vape on this show, you're going to see the real me.
I think that we have a space here where we're giving you permission to be a human being, no matter what the circumstances are surrounding your situation. And we're teaching you how to give yourself compassion, and none of this, you're not going to walk through any of this toxic shit if you're not giving yourself compassion.
No.
And every last one of us has been traumatized in some way, shape, or form by some narcissist somewhere along the way.
Right. And yes, Misha, I agree with Michael that it is absolutely terrible that you went through that, especially on a repetitive, stance. But you are an awesome person. You're not just an awesome singer that I'm very jealous of that can do one takes and they're perfect. You're an awesome person. You're beautiful. You're a beautiful mother. You're a beautiful friend. And anybody who tells you differently, like Michael, I will give them a stern talking to.
Yeah. So let's talk about the not trusting yourself anymore. Okay. That's, again, part of the healing process and de-gaslighting yourself. Because I see Michael says, I don't trust myself yet. That's fine. I don't trust myself yet either. So let's talk about it. I'm still working on that part myself, and I'm a professional in this world. Doesn't mean I'm not human, and it doesn't mean I don't walk through and follow my own advice and hold myself accountable to my humanness. So let's talk about trusting yourself. How do we start trusting ourselves again? Well, part of that is by allowing yourself permission to throw everything in the trash that was told to you by that person. No matter how painful it is to think and wrap your head around the idea that it was fake and not real, please understand all of it was real. They made a choice to abuse you. They made a choice to treat you disrespectfully and show you no consideration and manipulate you. You've seen the other side of them and their potential and their capability, and that's how they kept you hooked. It doesn't mean it isn't real. It means their inconsistency is intentional in order to maintain dominance and control. So it's an abusive situation, an abusive cycle. If it ain't good all the time as far as the foundation, the core value, the respect, the consideration, the connection and the response and the alignment with the values, then they're volatile, and you cannot limit yourself and blame yourself for somebody presenting themselves as a completely different person than they actually are, who has ill intention that you can't possibly be aware of until you see it
Yep.
whilst you're in it.
And please,
So-
for fuck's sake, don't gaslight yourself. Why didn't I see that before?
You stop. Because that's not where you're at. And if somebody tells you something, you're going to believe them because that's your heart. And so understand that words don't mean shit unless behaviors and actions match those words. Everyone can tell you anything they fucking want. It don't mean that that's actually who they embody. You have to see them in different settings and in different life circumstances in order for that shit to become clearly obvious to you. So when you're reflecting, instead of shaming yourself, show yourself the compassion and understanding that, okay, wait, your intuition felt something wrong with that situation. So good job on catching that. Now, trusting yourself is because now you're reflecting on it and remembering what your body responded to that bullshit and how you did know. So don't shame yourself for ignoring your intuition. Understand that you're programming. You're taught to give people chances and, well, maybe, but he said, you're taught all of that. But they're clearly showed you something different.
Yeah.
And so let's trust that we did know in our hearts and we felt it in our gut that something was off, and focus on that. I was right. I fucking knew it. I just didn't want to accept it because I put so much into it because blah, 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 whatever the reasons are. That's part of our human experience and our way of getting to know ourselves. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much.
You are fine. You are fine. I have been I have been over here trying to come up with a word that I would, based on what Michael was saying while you were talking. And I actually want to put it up on the screen because when we find ourselves making the same mistake and being attracted to or falling too quickly after we've left an abusive relationship, or when we've been shaming ourselves because of how other people talk to us and the programming that went on, I just figured out why.
Yeah.
Dopamine deficit deflection.
Yeah. So, you know what else is a dopamine hit? Being treated with respect and considered. Choose differently. When you see that they can't meet that basic human need of yours, that's your indicator. If they don't show up the way they tell you they're going to show up, that's your indicator. So you knew because you felt it in your gut, and you got to trust yourself. And wait a minute, I saw something in here that I wanted to say. If you're sacrificing yourself for someone else's comfort, that's not a healthy dynamic. There has to be a balance in the relationship. So you need to lean into your intuition. You need to lean into trusting yourself because a part of you always knows. You just have to allow yourself to listen and forget about the inconvenience of, being wrong and, shaming yourself for, oh my God, I can't believe none of that fucking matters. You know what matters? Your overall health and well-being. And if that person is detrimental to your overall health and well-being.
Yeah. And as much as I'd love to take your money to give you a reading as to whether or not he or she is the one, or if he or she is cheating, or if he or she is not in love with you anymore, or whatever the negative connotation might be, I'd love to take your money, but I'm going to say, well, if you have to ask, see, your gut was leading you to ask that question because something is off. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's an abusive relationship, that it's a negative or narcissistic type of relationship. It just means something ain't right. You're feeling it and you're following your gut. So take a look what's off.
Yeah. Yeah. And Karen, I understand because she's saying it's hard to believe that somebody can be like that. I know, because your heart, your intentions are not that. It is, we want to project the idea that everyone thinks and acts like us and has our integrity and has our good intentions in our heart. That's not the reality. There's billions of people in the world, and we get a wide variety so that we can learn about ourselves and what we don't like.
Yeah.
There's plenty of those.
Yeah.
So the more you get to know yourself, the more you ask. And here's another thing too. Ask yourself poignant questions. What did I learn about myself through this experience?
Mm-hmm.
What did I learn I was capable of through this experience? How do I want to present myself going forward, and how do I want to be going forward? What do I want to tolerate going forward? What don't I want to tolerate going forward? It's a getting to know yourself. You've gathered a shit ton of data in your field work, and it sucked ass to experience it. So now you better make it worth your while and get some use out of that information. And that's what the healing process entails. Boy, I'm like sponge.
And be willing to make mistakes.
Be willing to make mistakes. I'm
Be
full on
willing.
Jersey girl today.
I see that. I mean, I'm glad that you got the little. Oh wait, no, it's back because she got the little
Yes,
curly.
I have my little curly alfalfa
Yep.
going on here. It won't stop jiggling.
I was going to call it the little Cindy Lou Who, but
Oh gosh. But yes, they try to shrink you. So now you have to realize that and accept that and be okay and show yourself compassion over it.
Yeah.
Get angry, get self-righteously angry so that you can advocate for your internal self and decide, I am not going to let this happen again. I'm going to spot it sooner. Because it's not never going to happen. These people exist. They make up full-on personalities to get whatever they need from you. They exist. It's going to cross your path. The idea is you have to identify what you don't want a repeat of so that you can choose. So that you can see it next time.
Yeah.
Right?
So there's a lot being said in the chat
Holy
tonight.
moly.
Yeah. and trying to read Michael's books, which don't apologize for. We know that that's Michael's speak, and that's okay. That's why we love you, because you are very fluid with what you have to say.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure that we understand. So
Yes. Is there anyone who has a question? I know we're sharing a lot, but is there a question in here? Like, what are you struggling with?
well, while they're typing, I want to go back to the making mistakes, because one of the things that prevents a lot of people from, after leaving a relationship that has been abusive, one of the things that prevents them from trying with somebody else is because they're afraid they're going to make the same mistakes, or trying to get to know who they are as a human being. What am I good at? What can I do? What am I not good at? Making all these discoveries. What have I said 100 times or more? You can't learn from the mistakes that you don't make. And you made a mistake with, oh God, he or she is so pretty. They're beautiful. They have a beautiful soul. And then all of a sudden, why do I hate myself? It happens.
Yeah.
Pick up, move on, go to the next.
Yep. I told one of my clients today, you guys are on different trains. You're moving like this.
And if you don't want this to come back around here, perhaps it's time to think something else.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right. Right. And so we have to be in touch with it. Don't go jumping into another relationship to fill any void. Lean into the support and the love that you have around you. If you don't, then start seeking what kind of support and love that you actually do want around you, and be worthy of it. Feel worthy of it.
And if you've had that dopamine deficit, you will deflect.
Mm-hmm.
You will fall in love too fast. I've done it.
Right.
I've done it. Time
Right.
and time again.
Oh, me too. Especially us neurospicy people, because it becomes our new hyper focus. We have to become stronger than our body chemistry. Understand, biologically speaking, we're going to have those things, the chemistry pop out, and we're going to misconceive that as something that we can work upon and build on with
Yeah.
somebody. And that's not the case. The
Yeah.
reality is first you need to see if you're aligned and if your values align. So that's what you can decide for yourself with this whole reflective thing from when you're healing from those abusive relationships. Okay. What are my values? What do I want? What do I deserve?
Right.
You have to
And-
believe that you deserve common respect and consideration.
And if you have any level of neurospicy, or if you do have that dopamine deficit, and then all of a sudden you have this huge euphoric rush of dopamine because somebody paid attention to you, somebody complimented you, you feel comfortable in somebody's presence, you just feel this absolute rush, and you don't know them from Adam. That's when just give yourself a moment to take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the moment. I'm not going to take that away from you. I would never take somebody's euphoria of dopamine away, of happiness. No. But I would, especially if you have just left a toxic relationship,
Mm-hmm.
that this is a deflection. This is a mirage for now.
Right.
The key is, does it continue happening?
Right.
Or do you have to seek it out with that particular person to top it off next time?
Yeah.
Because we get addicted to our own body chemistry, our own hormones, to
Right.
the point that we need a fix. And if we're
Right.
not getting that fix, then that person ain't good enough. We got to find the next one.
Right. You are more powerful than your body chemistry. Attention does not equal love. Body chemistry doesn't mean alignment. Attraction doesn't mean that there's compatibility. So de-gaslight yourself from those beliefs that keep you hooked on your own body chemistry. And please, please, please recognize that romantic love is not the only way to receive these dopamine hits and these oxytocin hits. Lean into the love that you already have present in your life, who makes you feel safe around you. They don't have to be romantic.
Right.
They don't have to be romantic. Who do you have in your life that makes you feel safe, heard, understood, held, supported, cheered for? Those people.
Yeah.
Tell them how they make you feel. Tell them why. Give them examples. Allow that connection to get stronger. Lean into the people around you already love and care for you, especially whilst you're healing.
Excuse me.
Because you do deserve support. You've been lied to, and you've been hypervigilant, and you've been hibernating because you were made to feel less than by this person. And they made you feel like you were a burden. So now you're not even leaning on the people who in your life want to help you.
Yep.
Genuinely.
Michael did post a question. How do I know when I'm ready to break down that wall, to open myself, to let someone in without living with the fear of being hurt again like I have in the past?
So you might get hurt again, and that's a reality. Because the reality is when you open your heart and let the light in, sometimes people take advantage of that light. And you don't really know that until you give it a chance to breathe and have experiences in life in order to see what they're actually like. So instead, save that piece, that emotional connection piece, because again, be more powerful than your body chemistry. Save that emotional connection piece for when you have really seen in action naturally that their values and beliefs align with who you are as a person, and that there's more of a deep alignment in order to sustain whatever your biology is. Because, remember, we have that biology because we're supposed to procreate, right? That's the whole point. That's the reason for the body chemistry. So understand
Must have skipped me.
The meat suit is doing what it does. That doesn't mean that your heart and mind you're in control of your body.
Yeah.
You decide if this person has earned your trust and then your respect because they've proved their integrity. And then you can decide to get your body chemistry involved. So you just need to slow yourself down and set boundaries and allow yourself to wait until things unfold, and there has to be some depth there for you to cling on to, because usually people with body chemistry get involved with all surface level stuff. That's not sustainable.
Now, I'm going to take it to a morbid place because I'm me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you all right now, you will get hurt in any relationship. Ultimately, you will get hurt. But if you lived in the fear of knowing that the person that you love deeply, regardless of how good or bad the relationship is, but if you lived in the fear of knowing that that person was going to one day transition from their bodysuit, would you still seek it out? If you lived in that fear. So if you live in the fear that somebody is going to hurt you again, well, one day, yes. But the way that other people have, no, not everybody's the same. Not everybody is like that jackass that you left. Truth.
Mm-hmm.
Karen also had a question. How to distract yourself healthily when there are those moments which were used to be time with the abuser, like the hours of calling, for example, sitting in silence, then the loud, shitty committee.
Use that time to put your attention on what you're drawn to. Use that time to focus on things that you didn't get to do, that you wanted to do because he made you feel or she made you feel like you shouldn't be doing that, and that's an inconvenience to them. Embrace who you wanted to be and what you wanted to do, but weren't able to because you had to tend to their needs. Refocus and redirect all that energy inside of you.
Yeah.
On you, on productivity to get you moving forward, to get your nervous system regulated again. I hope that helps.
I had something and it's jumbled up. Must be the shitty committee in my head.
No, Michael, you can't trade your meat suit. I got parts that need upgrading too, but don't work that way. Unfortunately, I gotta, help myself. I gotta help myself. Oh, that's funny.
Hey, you got any meat suit donors?
Listen.
No? Okay.
Invasion of the body snatchers. Oh God.
Oh.
That's so funny.
But when we get stuck in the used to be's.
Yeah.
And I'm always, when you are standing in that boardroom of your shitty committee and, well, it used to be this way. And they're like, no. Now it's always this way. This is how you are now. You don't have to listen to them. And guess what? You can't exercise them like you can demons.
Yeah.
These demons you actually carry with you to the end. But they are just thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
They are thoughts that you can recognize as being unhealthy, as being gaslighting, as being cortisol, even stressing you out over things that you don't need to stress out. Is it hard, especially if you've lived a triggered life? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But does it get easier as you learn how not to be? Yes.
It does. Yeah. It does. Yeah. You just have to gaslight yourself and help yourself realize that you got a virus in your computer, you got a virus in your hard drive, and your memory, your whole computer got sick, this and this, and you need to put this back together, and you need to reinstall or update or upgrade new software, new intel, new ways of being, new ideas, and find yourself again, because you're in there. You just got buried under shit that doesn't belong to you. So you got to get rid of all the crap that they put on you that doesn't belong to you.
Yeah.
I hope that helps. Marie's going to ask me to take her out. She might
Very
start
soon.
barking.
Yep. Because we've hit that magic mark.
Yes, she might start barking.
the,
So sorry if she
the
does.
little bitty whimpers have already begun. Mommy, mommy.
Yes.
So if there are no more questions, I think that I hope that we've given some tools that you can
Yeah.
use.
Yeah.
Do an inventory on yourself.
Mhm.
If you've just come out of an abusive relationship, start looking at things you like about yourself. Write them down.
Mhm.
Be grateful for them. Embrace them. Find out what it is that you really want. Ask yourself that question. What do I want? I don't have to answer to somebody else right now. I'm answering to me. What do I want? And it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. I can hear the shitty committee and some of you already started. I hear you. Stop it. Shh. Exactly, Marie. It's not time for you to talk. No, 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 no. This is time for me to give myself permission to say what it is that I want, what it is that I'm good at, what it is that I like about myself. And nobody else gets to tell me otherwise.
Yeah. Oh,
Thank you, Marie. You didn't have to mute. She's doing perfectly. I mean, she is punctuating what I'm saying like a boss. I know that it's for different reasons, but girl. So sincerely, when when that shitty committee starts in your head, and I'm going to talk a little bit until she gets back, but when that starts going off in your head, tell yourself that you love yourself enough that you don't have to listen to them. And sometimes there are those few times where they just need to get out and say what it is that they need to say just to get it off their chest. Because the ego be like that. You ever tried to stop somebody when they are in ego mode? I see where you at. Okay, I'm just gonna sit here and listen and nod appropriately. Okay, all right, oh, all right, we're there. Oh, all right, you done?
yeah.
Sometimes, and just discern. Just discern. I'm so glad that you love this show, Michael. I saw your comment while I was yammering.
Thank you, Michael.
So, all right. Let's plug.
We got you. Yes. And remember, and thank you for bringing that up earlier, Micah, because the reality is we're both transformational coaches, life coaches, whatever label we choose, doesn't matter.
Right, right.
The point is we help you move yourself forward. And so if either of us, if you need somebody to talk to, please reach out to either of us. Seriously.
Yeah. Because you're worth it.
Yes, you are worth it. And this is my booking site. So you can see what my services are and what the fees are for those services. But I do give 10 minutes for free, a free consultation. So even if you wanted to do like a 10-minute, that's fine. And Micah's got a lot more opportunities for you to talk to him than I do. So
and things about to change to where there's more. But here's my website, and it's about it. I haven't had a chance to update it yet because I've got so much going on in the background with Rise Awakenings, getting that ready for the kickoff in October 1st on this show. So you're going to want to tune in. I'll figure all that out next week because that's how I work. But seriously, if you haven't checked out my website, it tells a little bit more about my reading style. This is what you get. this is the attitude. This is the presentation that you get. If you haven't joined Evolve and Emerge, go ahead and click on that now, because there's going to be major announcements coming up. Because I am also a heightened awareness transformation coach, and I have created and am in the process of creating a high ticket offer for working with you guys on the Phoenix path that I've already created.
Ooh.
So that has a lot of layers, and it's 6 weeks that it's going to take place on or during. So once that's solidified, I will tell you more about that, but there's your teaser. And I think, oh wait, I should tell them about this just one more time, just in case, because if you haven't read my book, a lot of what I'm going to be doing is based off that gem. So if you haven't grabbed it yet, go ahead and grab it. It's on Amazon in all formats, Kindle, paperback, hardcover. And very soon, I'm going to be giving away an autographed copy, because I do have some.
Can I also throw out there the recommendation that if you know somebody who could really benefit from the book, handing somebody a book as a gift is a huge deal, especially if you know they're on the healing journey and it's something useful.
Yeah. Especially if they're dealing with burnout.
Right.
Because that's really what it's geared to, is holding on to a biometric detonator because you're just so burnt out with your job, your life, your relationships. That's what it's for, to help you reconnect and realign with yourself. So I think that's that. And if we don't have any suggestions for the next topic, go ahead.
It'll be your turn.
It'll be my turn. Don't know what it's going to be yet. You can shoot me a DM either online or in Messenger or in the comments below. YouTube will let me know, or Twitch if you're there. I don't know if Twitch will let me know if you commented, if it lets you comment after. Anyway, thinking about it.
Marie and I love you.
I'm easy to find. That's Marie. That's Reverend Diane.
Bye.
I'm Brindle
We love
Wolf.
you.
We love you. Have a great week. Make it a great week on purpose.
Okay.
We'll see you next.
And remember, reshift. All right?
Get out of that shitty committee.
It's Brindle Wolf and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, mental wellness is the topic of the hour. Mental health and the power to tap into our alignments will lead to our refinement. Phoenix Talk, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brindle Wolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks.